today we're doing week 7, cycle 2.
And look, this is actually us. It's happening right
Yep,
now.
it's happening right
You
now.
have listened and heard and watched a lot of videos
When I
from
was a
3
little
years
kid,
ago.
so, yeah.
You have actually not been in a lot of them, but the coming videos, Alora will be in most of them as a little teeny tiny Alora. But we are doing week 7 and we're starting with math. The 13s, and guess what? We have only one number on the board because we are getting up there in numbers. So let's go to the melody of Jolly Saint Nick. Ready? 13, 26, 39, 52, 65, 78, 91, 104, 117, 130, 143, 156, 169, 182, 195. That was math for today. What are we doing next?
We're going to do Latin next.
Let's do Latin next. Listen up. We have learned the first conjugation, present tense. And we say, oh, what present for me? We have learned imperfect tense. Bombs are imperfect solutions. You can leave them up there. We'll take them down as we go. We have learned the future tense, and we shoot a bow into the future. And guess what? We are learning a new tense today. We are learning first conjugation, perfect tense. And we are singing it to the melody of Farmer and the Dell, which makes us think of a farmer. And when a farmer goes out on a perfect sunny day, what does he say, Alora? This is the best day ever. And our melody to Farmer of the Dell goes like this. It goes isti it, imus istis, and then here's the trickster, errand. Oh my goodness, that does not fit in here, but that's how it is. Let's sing it together. Isti it, imus istis, errand. First conjugation, perfect tense. So remember our farmer on a perfect day, he says, this is amazing. Isti it, imus istis, errand. Okay, what are we doing next?
We'll do history.
In history, we are learning about the Protestant Reformation. Our sign for Reformation is 2 R's, and we are turning things around, right? We reform things. So tell me about the Protestant Reformation. And this starts with in 1517. For 15, we're going to do a 5, and we're going to wave to ourselves. 15, and then the pinky finger would be 16, but we're using the ring finger. 17, that's 17. So 1517, Martin Luther began. So if you're super quick, you can do ML, or you can just do an M. Totally fine either way. So we have in 1517, Martin Luther began the Protestant Reformation by printing. We're going to print something by printing the 95 Theses. It was a long list of theses, the 95 Theses that made Pope Leo X. We've already heard about Pope Leo III, but this is not him. This is Pope Leo X, and we're going to make an X because that's the Roman numeral for 10. Pope Leo X, and he will excommunicate him. So we're going 10, excommunicate him. Later, John Calvin, we're just going to do a C for Calvin. Later, John Calvin joined the Reformation. And then we sing, and that is how it all began. In 1517, Martin Luther began the Protestant Reformation. Ready? We're going to sing it. Tell me about the Reformation. In 1517, Martin Luther began the Protestant Reformation by printing the 95 Theses that made Pope Leo X excommunicate him. Later, John Calvin joined the Reformation, and that is how it all began. In 1517, Martin Luther began the Protestant Reformation. That was it. What are we doing next? We have English, science, geography, or timeline.
Science.
Science. In science, we are learning about pollution. And pollution is when we find things that don't belong in certain places. Things like trash or just things chemicals that shouldn't be where they are. And there are 6 forms of them. There's noise pollution. There's air pollution. There's water pollution. There's land pollution. Thermal, that has to do with heat pollution, or radioactive pollution. And our song goes to radioactive. I don't know if you know that song, but it's catchy, so you guys can do it. And we start off with radioactive water, 6 forms of pollution, noise, air, and water, land and thermal, radioactive. Let's go through them again. We say noise, air, and water, land and thermal, radioactive. It's super hard to do all the signs when we're singing it because it goes fast, but if you can do it, that would be awesome. Okay, what are we doing next? English. We have learned so many different pronouns, and this one can be a little tricky because we've already learned possessive pronouns last week. Remember the little baby who says, mine? These are different though. These are called possessive pronoun adjectives, and they are adjectives that go in front of something. Say somebody would say, that is my dog, or that is her dog. So my and her are possessive pronoun adjectives. Okay, and it goes to the melody of Joy to the World. It goes like this. Possessive pronoun adjectives, singular, my, your, his, her, its, plural, our, your, their, my, your, his, her, its, our, your, their, my, your, his, her, its, our, your, their. Nice work. Let's do geography because then we only have a timeline left. Geography, we're talking about peninsulas. Do you guys know what a peninsula is? Do you know what a peninsula is? What is a peninsula? Let's start with what's an island.
An island is like a part of
Land
in the middle of the ocean.
Fully surrounded by water.
Hawaii.
A peninsula
is connected to land.
It's connected, but it has at least on 3 sides, it has water, right? Well, at least on 2 sides maybe. But it has water, but it is connected to land. And it goes to the melody of The Animals Went in 2 by 2. It goes like this. What are the European peninsulas? Iberian Peninsula in Spain. Balkan Peninsula in Greece. Scandinavian Peninsula, Apennine Peninsula is in Italy. The boot. So the only one we don't name where it is the Scandinavian Peninsula. That's up where the Baltic Sea is. But everything else, the Iberian Peninsula is in Spain, Baltic in Greece, Scandinavian up by Sweden and Norway, and an Apennine Peninsula is the boot in Italy. Let's do that one more time. Iberian Peninsula in Spain, Balkan Peninsula in Greece, Scandinavian Peninsula, Apennine Peninsula is in Italy. The boot. Okay, last but not least, will you please give me all our timeline cards as we go through them? Laura will hold them in the camera, and then we go. Last week, we ended on John the Baptist, but everybody said Jesus the Messiah, and that is what we are starting with today. So we do the sign for Jesus the Messiah, and then there's a timestamp on here. This is year 1 AD. Then we go to Pentecost and the early church. Pentecost is when flames, tons of fire came on people. Flames, we go up. Pentecost and the early church, we're building a sea on the rock, an early church. Persecution, so people were persecuted for their faith. Persecution spreads the gospel. Here's the card for it. Persecution spreads the gospel. We have Herod's temple destroyed. So we have an H for Herod. Herod's temple destroyed by Titus. You can do a T if you want to. Herod's temple destroyed by Titus. Diocletian, so we're going to do a D for Diocletian. Diocletian divides the Roman Empire. So we're have a D, divide, and then an R for Roman Empire. I'll show you the card. Diocletian divides the Roman Empire. Then we have Constantine legalizes Christianity. Constantine, another C, legalizes Christianity. We're going to do the sign for Jesus again. And last but not least, we have India's Gupta dynasty. Our sign for India is the dot, India's, and then Gupta dynasty, lots of gold. Okay, I showed it. Hang it up, and then we go from Jesus to Messiah. Ready? Get your sign for Jesus ready. Jesus the Messiah, year 180, year 180. Pentecost and the early church. Persecution spreads the gospel. Herod's temple destroyed by Titus. Diocletian divides the Roman Empire. Constantine legalizes Christianity. India's Gupta dynasty. Nice. That was it for week 7. Have fun learning. And
Have
we
fun
will see you next
learning.
week.
Bye,